As record numbers of people move into cities, rising threats like climate change could force millions of people to move out of harm's way.
Climate change is going to have a huge impact in cities in the next 5 decades. Those challenges are going to range from flooding, from temperature rise, water shortages.
Extreme drought will exacerbate fire dangers. Sea level rise will flood a lot of areas. Erosion will take away a lot of property.
And the challenge is how we'll be able to manage these challenges.
So far, cities have shown to be extremely resilient, and therefore speculating about how we would eventually deal with having to give up entire cities is really something where we can't take any lessons from the past.
To prepare for this challenge, some Americans are already on the move to so-called climate havens. The American city of Duluth in Minnesota claims to be one.
Compared to areas that are going to be very hard hit by climate change, Duluth could be a refuge because we will remain temperate. It'll still be an area where people can live comfortably. We won't have the catastrophic change that we anticipate for other areas. Duluth at one time had quite a few more people than it has now, and we could regrow into that size that we once were. We do have the stability of the lake and the natural resources to provide an economic base for people to come and find jobs.
That was the reasoning behind Angela Dubrove and her husband moving to Duluth.
One of the main reasons we moved to Duluth 2 years ago was it feels like a really good place to ride out the changes that are coming because of climate change. I've heard there's places in the West that are already, people are buying and shipping in barrels of water to live. I don't want to live like that. When you see Lake Superior, it really does give you peace of mind. It is an insurance policy against running out. If you don't have access to fresh, good water, really you have nothing.
But other residents have doubts about their city possibly welcoming an influx of climate refugees.
I've been living in Duluth for about 70 years, and I love the historic architecture and the character of our seaport town. If there were no regulations, if developers were free to come in, tear down all of our historic structures and build buildings just to accommodate climate refugees who come to the city, we would lose all of that character. And we wouldn't be a tourist attraction, we would be a bedroom community.
But as in many U.S. cities, homes are already in short supply in Duluth.
Here in Duluth, we're struggling with a serious affordable housing crisis. Loaves and Fishes is an intentional community that provides a place to stay rent-free for folks who need a place to stay while they look for permanent housing. If we do get 100,000 climate migrants coming to Duluth, we're going to have a whole lot of people looking for places to live that just aren't there.
We had, of course, extreme events where maybe temporarily cities will be evacuated, but so far the idea has always been to then return eventually and rebuild.
I just saw in the New York Times this morning, it said, when you live where there's been a natural disaster, don't rebuild, move.
The idea of moving a whole population into a new city, to me, suggests there's going to be lots of new problems.
We don't have the carrying capacity for 100,000 people. But I certainly think we could absorb, you know, another 5 or 10,000. We don't want an invasion.
We have to do whatever we can as we face the challenges of climate change to protect the places that already exist.